Alright, so I decided to do a video on my Tu-144 just to give a tutorial on how to start it and how to operate it so you don't mess up and break something, which I'm sure will happen if you don't watch it. So anyway, I'm just going to show how to get in it, anything you don't want to do, what to do, and I'm going to make it as short as possible. I'm not going to go over the autopilot. If somebody wants me to go over the autopilot, they just message me and I'll either make a video on it or just explain it to you in specific. Alright, so on the door here, or you saw what I just did, is I opened it and I grabbed the handle. It's right below the button, so when you're on the outside like this, you're not going to see it, but it's just below the button there, so you go ahead and grab that. And then you use your other Q button to open it, and what you're going to do is you're going to look down, hold Q, or Control to crouch, and hold S while holding space. And that'll bring you in. Alright, so we're going to enter the flight deck here, and I'm going to go over how to start it really quick. This is just how to start it, and then I'm going to go over things that you need and don't want to do, and if you don't listen to that part, you're going to struggle a lot. Alright, so first we're going to turn on bus tie 1, 2, and 3 right here. And then we're going to establish power, so we're going to turn on battery. And then we are going to turn on start valve 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we will go ahead and turn on cross feed 1 and 2. And turn on number 1 main tank and number 4 main tank. Number 1 and 4 are the outer wing main tanks, or wing tanks. And number 2 and 3 are the inner wing tanks. So, okay, great time to get a message. That's just wonderful. Anyway, next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to turn on the panel lights, and then I'm going to turn on wing and center tank auto balance. So let's do this will balance all the fuel levels between all the tanks here. Alright, and then we're going to turn that off. Now we're going to turn on boost pump 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to turn on generator drive for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the generator bus for engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, after that we're going to turn on the electric engine control for engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've said this a lot, but we're going to turn on this for engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. And then finally, the hydraulic system. Hydraulic system A, which is engine 1 and 4, and B, which is 2 and 3. Alright. Just a tip, in the event of an emergency and you lose hydraulic power, you can turn the APU and the pneumatic hydraulic pump, and that will give you hydraulic power to the landing gear and all the control surfaces. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and, we don't want the pneumatic pump on, we're going to keep that off. And we're going to start the APU. This is just basically an APU on-off. So you turn it on, the APU's on, flip it off, and the APU turns off. Alright, so now we're going to turn on the packs, pack 1 and 2, and the bleed air for engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to want these on because at the altitude you fly it with this aircraft, it's going to be very cold and you will start to freeze. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and turn the lights up here, and we're going to go to the next step. For takeoff, you go ahead and bring flaps out, and we're going to turn on the transponder and radar. Those are not needed, they're optional, but just in case you want to use them. This right here is lights. These are all optional. You can mess around with these however you want. However, this is needed, and if you don't turn these on, you will have issues. So go ahead and turn on elevator, rudder, and aileron flight control. And that will give you control over the nose gear, the rudder, the ailerons, and the elevator. Alright, so there is basic heading hold, basic altitude hold. It does tell you the maximum altitude you want to climb to, and that's to make sure the VNAV system can help you descend at the right time. That's a completely other subject. Like I said, if you want to learn the autopilot, just shoot me a message. I may or may not make a video at some point. Alright, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to throttle up to 30%, which is idle. Okay, and then what we are going to do is turn on, we're going to start engine 1 and 4 first. It's always good to start with 2 engines, and then turn on the isolation valve, which switches the APU from type for the aircraft, but instead pushes for the engines. So that's 1 and 4. And all you need to get it started running. And now I'm going to go over, this is very important, if you don't, you're probably going to have a lot of problems in the rest of this part. So I'm just going to go over the basics for what to do and what to not do so that you don't perish in a horrible way. Alright, so one of the first things is there's a lot of lights, a lot of warnings. So you're going to have flap overspeed, landing gear overspeed, retract. This one tells you when to retract the nose if you're going too fast, and whatnot. And there's a stall terrain warning, and vehicle warning. So when you get near, you're going to want to be cruising at 100% throttle. That is the minimum that autopilot can keep you in the air still. And it is just slow enough to make sure that pulling G's is not going to break the aircraft unless you go absolutely insane range. Good luck. So you're going to want to keep it that. Next thing is make sure the gear is up before you go above 100% throttle, and make sure the front's up, because there is a possibility you will be going fast and you can brake. Right? Next thing you're going to want to do is when you are climbing to your altitude, do not go full throttle. You want to stay at 100 until you reach your altitude, wait for the aircraft to level off, and then throttle up to full speed. Right? That's because when you're going that fast, the autopilot can compensate for it, and if you do have an accident, it doesn't mean you're going to die, but it could possibly break the nose from how much force the aircraft has to put to push the nose down, which is why you climb at a slower rate. Now, when you're descending as well, if you want to descend, make sure you slow down to 100% throttle on the descent to make sure that you do not, once again, break the nose. It's very sturdy, but I have designed it to be where if you pull too many G's, things on the aircraft can't break. And I just want to add that for a little element of realism. So just be careful with what you're doing. Don't maneuver above 100. Right, the next thing is do not, if you're going full speed, which is just under Mach 1, okay, you're pretty much going Mach 1. So maneuvering your aircraft is a no-go. You can do it, but if you pull too many G's, you will break the nose way easier than if you're going slower than that. So you're going to want to just have autopilot do the work for you in that instance. Just don't want to do it. It never ends well. I've tested it, and I never had a good time with it. So, the next thing is, if you get these warning lights right here, which say fuel system pressure low, right? You want to be a little worried, because that means that your engines are either going to slow down a bit, or they're going to shut off momentarily, because there's too little fuel pressure. Right? So, there are a few instances in which this can happen. Sometimes, because it's very hard, I've been struggling with it, but I finally managed to get it stable enough to where 90% of the time you fly, there's no problem. But sometimes the pressure will dip a bit, and it will say low pressure. Usually, and pretty much all the time, the engine's never shut off or any problem. But you will lose speed, and it will go about 40 knots slower than it would usually on full throttle. And there's an easy fix for it. All you have to do to regain fuel pressure is throttle down to about 150, wait about 2 seconds, and then throttle that up to full, and you regain full pressure, fuel pressure when you go into full throttle. So that's usually not a problem. Now, it will be a problem if you accidentally turn off a fuel chain feed from. And a fuel chain is a series of tanks. So fuel chain 1 is number 1, number 2, wing tank. They're called main tanks because those are the ones you mainly feed from. And the second fuel chain is number 2 and number 3 tank. And the third fuel chain is center tank. You're never going to be feeding from aft tank unless it's an emergency. So don't ever worry about using that. You have a 200-kilometer range just off all 4 wing tanks and the center tank combined. This is a 200-kilometer range. It's actually 197, but it's close enough. So you may want to refuel a little bit when you go to the Arctic and The next thing is, when you're in flight, you're probably going to want somebody else with you, because it drains through fuel very fast. And because of that, you need somebody to actively watch the tanks that you're feeding from and switch to a different fuel chain at the right time. Because if the engine's cut out because you forget to change it and you lose throttle, not only will you have no fuel, it will go down. If you do regain it like just in the nick of time, you'll notice that the low fuel pressure warning will come up, because that cut off like that disturbs the fuel flow and then causes you to basically just be stuck in low pressure. And once again, all you have to do to fix that is throttle down to about 150, throttle back up, and regain the pressure. Now, low fuel pressure could also mean, like I said, that you don't have a fuel chain on and there's no fuel entering the system. So you'll just have to watch that. Or the boost pumps, start valves are off either. So that's what you want to look for in this. Now, like I said, most of these problems you aren't going to encounter if you just follow my steps. They will not happen. Alright. Next thing is, this aircraft is not meant for flying short routes. You can do it if you go slow, but it is not designed for it. You're supposed to go from either mainland to Arctic, Arctic to mainland, creative, Arctic, Arctic to creative. And the reason for that is because you are going so fast that the autopilot or you needs enough time to descend and get lined up. Alright? And because of that, it requires a longer range route. Right? It only takes about 6 minutes to get to the Arctic. So you're not flying long if you're going full speed. Right? The last thing, actually, two more things. Make sure that the nose is up before you go above 100% throttle. Make sure, it's getting more than 2 things. Make sure that never use the droop snoot in multiplayer. I don't know why it doesn't function, but sometimes it does work. In single player it works every time, so you can use it to your heart's content there, just not use it in multiplayer. And next thing is, on the throttle, it will give you the landing speed. 48.00 is your landing speed. So just throttle down to that, and you will be able to, basically it'll be like on the verge of wanting to almost stall, but not, still being able to climb if needed. Just right for landing, so that way you can flare, and then as you want to go down, you can slowly pitch the nose down as your aircraft will begin to descend. Alright, next thing, this is the last thing I'm going to go over, and then I'm just going to end the video. Because it's a little longer than usual, but it's because there's more you have to think about. When you deploy the landing parachutes, and yes, the real aircraft did have this, it's going to throttle you down to 30.00% idle throttle, and it does that just in case power forgets to. Right? And it just helps you with slowing down with the parachutes. Because if you're going, a throttle setting above that, you'll just continue going whether or not the parachutes are on. Right? So just make sure you turn that off when you want to be able to have control of the throttle again, because it will hold it at that percentage. So just make sure that you turn that off when you're done using it. Other than that, that's pretty much it. As long as you follow those things and just be very careful, and you don't fly with a buddy. You can do it by yourself to get into practice, but I recommend flying with a buddy if you want to make it a little easier on yourself.